Hey, it's Weatherman Ray or Wixman Ray, whatever you would like to call me today. Hey, today is, what is this, Tuesday, right? Tuesday, February 24, 2026. Hey, we're rounding out the end of February here this week. I think the last day is on Saturday. Yeah, Sunday is the 1st of March already. Can you believe that? That's good news. Spring is right around the corner. So we can do away with that groundhog's prediction, right? Hey, so we got our satellite up here today. This is our day land cloud satellite on the RGB, which is red, blue, and green. Just helps us distinguish what kind of clouds we got. All these orange colored clouds, these are the higher clouds. With we got a system out here over Canada, extending across Wisconsin down towards Iowa and Illinois, and farther south, this is just high cloud here and probably over in this area. In here, they got a little bit of snow activity going on in this general part of the world. And up north of that front, yeah, there's a little bit of low cloud up here and low to mid-level cloud. All the green is the snow on the ground underneath it. Where it's blue, there's not much snow on the ground right now. Yeah, and then across the southern part of the United States, pretty nice. Sunny for the most part, except some high clouds down in some parts here. Yeah, and then we got this system moving across the west with this is mostly a rainmaker. Snow levels like from California through Utah are about 9 to 10,000 feet, so they're pretty high up. So most areas, except for the highest mountain peaks, are gonna see rain. As you head up into Idaho and Montana, the snow levels are generally lower, probably around 4 or 5,000 feet up here in Idaho, and then as you get up here, they're probably 1,000 or 2,000 feet. Um, so there'll be a little bit more snow if there is any precip up there. So yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like on our satellite picture there. Looking at our surface observations for today, we got some rain out here from Eugene to Portland over to Yakima, Washington, over to Spokane area. A little bit cooler there, 39, but you can see most of this is rain here. We get down farther south into Northern California, it's approaching 60s and the 60s down here near Sacramento. Get some pretty good rains though, light to moderate rain there across Northern California and in the 50s for the most part. A little bit of spotty rain showers out across northern Nevada, and it's in the 50s there. So very mild temperatures for late February. Even 45 at Boise and Pocatello. 57 at Salt Lake. Looks like there's some rain in all those areas. So yeah, little bit of maybe snow showers up in the mountains of Montana and northern Idaho. Um, so yeah. All right. Look, some gusty winds there at Cheyenne and Denver there coming off the mountain. About 50, looks like 50-mile-an-hour gusts. Yeah, along I-80 there from Laramie to Cheyenne over towards Rock Spring, or not Rock Springs, Rawlings area. Yeah, but that's pretty normal. Yeah, there's some gusty winds all across the front range of the Rockies here. Yeah, 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds are higher. So yeah, that's going on. Across farther south, it's warm. Vegas is almost 70, 68, 81 in Phoenix, 71 in Los Angeles. El Paso 75, Albuquerque 68, so beautiful. Little gusty winds in eastern New Mexico across most of Texas and Oklahoma. Looks like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. So, and it's pretty warm. Look at that. 70s, up mid to upper 70s to 80s out here. 84 in Amarillo. Very warm and beautiful. Even up towards Kansas City, it's 61. So, got 60s and 70s across Kansas. A little bit of gusty winds out there too. So that's ahead of this front that's up north, and we'll talk about that in a second. A little bit cooler still down here in the southeast in the 50s, even across Florida, and mid to upper 50s out here, 65 in Miami. So another cool day out there in Florida. Yeah, look at that. Even North Carolina's in the 30s and 40s. So yeah, and then back where they have the snow here, Yeah, it's near freezing there, where they got some parts had up to 3 feet of snow out here in Rhode Island. I think a couple other spots, but yeah, generally 2 to 3 feet from basically, Boston, kind of as I'm outlining it down to New Jersey. So 2 to 3 feet of snow was pretty common out there. They got pummeled. Looks like there's a little light snow between Syracuse and looks like a little bit up near Watertown over the Tug Hill Plateau. A little bit of lake effect snow going on. They get tons of snow on that Tug Hill Plateau. A couple hundred. Well, I can't remember if it's like 300 or 400 inches a year annually during the winter, something like that. But yeah, they get a ton of snow there off that Tug Hill Plateau. Yeah, 20s up here in the northeast, teens farther north. So here's that snow extending from parts of Wisconsin, northern Michigan, down towards, looks like Iowa. Down here, the temperatures are near or just above freezing, so some of this may, if it's falling to the ground, it'll be rain or a mix. So, but farther north, yeah, they got some moderate to heavy snow in this band, but it's moving along, so they probably won't get a lot of accumulation, maybe a couple inches at the most. 3 to 4 maybe. It depends on how quick it comes down and how long it lasts. But yeah, so that's the observations there. So pretty mild throughout most of the United States. There's no Arctic air. I mean, the coldest air is right up here in International Falls, 14. Yeah, teens up here. So it's probably near or just below normal. But yeah, even up into Canada, single digits. It's a little colder up there. And that's a sign of things to come. Yeah, you got negatives farther north, so that stuff will push south as we head into Friday here in a couple days. So, all right, we'll look at the models. Actually, let's look at the snowfall real quick. Let's do this one. Just a real quick look. Yeah, look at that. This is what is this? This is New Jersey down here, or that's Delaware. So they had upwards of 20 inches in parts of Delaware. A little over 20 inches. Out here, New Jersey, anywhere from 18 to 24, 26, 27 inches. Long Island, it looks like they had up to 30 something inches out there. They got pummeled all around New York City over around 2 feet or so. Yeah, look it up here, man. They had 30 plus inches, about 3 feet of snow in parts of Rhode Island out here. Yeah, so this whole area got pummeled. Even farther inland, they got up to a foot, back here. So parts of Pennsylvania here. As you get farther back, 3 to 6 inches back here. Um, yeah, generally they got a little bit of lake effect out here with like almost a foot, 8 to 11 inches out there. That's off of Lake Erie there, not too far from Erie, Pennsylvania, and what's that, Dunkirk? I've driven along that I-90, up towards Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo just had a couple inches. And that's it. Yeah, and then there's a couple inches across northern Michigan here, or central Michigan, I guess, 1 to 3 or so. A little bit up here in the UP. A couple spots had upwards of a foot. I think that's from a couple days ago. They had 32 inches. That's, I think, from a couple days ago. But yeah, they're getting a bunch in the lake effect belts there. There's a lot of snow up there. So that's what's going on there. So this is our forecast. This is coming up through about what is that, 6, 7 o'clock this evening out on the East Coast, the depiction. So there's this low pressure up here in Canada, just near Lake Superior, with the cold front kind of extending down across Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, northern Missouri, and it kind of just washes out down here. And yeah, so, and you're not getting a lot of the Gulf moisture, you're just getting southwest flow, so you're just getting the precipitation with the dynamics up around that low. Other than that, it's just this rain coming off onshore across Northern California. It looks, like we said, some moderate, maybe some heavy rain through this evening across Northern California. There's that higher elevation snow up in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. Maybe even the Uinta is above 10,000 feet. So yeah, whoops, wrong button, Ray. So going forward in time, this is tonight. So through tomorrow morning, this will be on the decrease. There'll still be some lingering showers through the middle part of the day tomorrow, out through the west all the way out through here, and then it looks like there's a system developing across the Dakotas and Nebraska with some snow breaking out, a band of snow up there, and that kind of slides this way through the day on Wednesday. Doesn't look like a heavy hitter, but you might get a few inches of snow in that general area. You can see this is winding down tomorrow across the Rockies, and so, and then this system here, it starts pushing a little bit more to the south. This is Wednesday morning. You've got some snow, maybe some rain mixed in down here towards Ohio and Kentucky, northern Kentucky. But that's going to bring another round of snow up here where they already had a ton of snow. So a couple more inches on top of what they already got, or, you know, 3 to 6, I would say at the most. And that kind of goes through the day on Wednesday. Yeah, it looks like by Thursday morning this thing exits into the east with just some, residual moisture, few flurries and snow showers here back across the northeast, but nothing too significant by Thursday morning. This system starts to intensify a little bit. This one we were talking about here coming, the low pressure forms out there in Kansas, Nebraska into Kansas, and it starts picking up more moisture. This will probably start breaking out, especially towards the afternoon, but there might even be a couple thunderstorms on growing across the, Tennessee, into southern Virginia, North Carolina area. So this general area, the mid Mississippi Valley, I guess is what they call this area. Maybe a little light snow on the northern fringe. As we go through the day on Thursday, yeah, more thunderstorms across the southeast toward Louisiana and the Carolinas, Georgia, maybe a little bit down into Florida here. We'll see, at least the Panhandle. And that's it going through the day on Thursday. Out west, sorry about that. Yeah, after that system comes through and kind of dissipates on Wednesday, it stays pretty dry. There might be a little bit just on the fringe of Washington there out near the coast, a little rain, but looks good through Friday out there. And then this is that system on Friday. It's the cold front slowly sinks south into North Florida, southern Georgia. So some showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast into this general area near Savannah, Georgia, and that general area, Tallahassee and Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, and then going through the day on Saturday, the front starts to weaken. It may just cooled off slightly, but it's really kind of wet. But there might be some leftover showers and thunderstorms across parts of Florida. This system mainly stays up in Canada with the precipitation, this low pressure. But what it will do is just, oh, come on. It really irritates me. Sorry. So Friday, this cold front slides into the northern plains, into Montana, and back through this area. So that cold air is going to slide down. This is by Saturday morning. So from, Nebraska to Illinois, Ohio, all the way across the northeast, back toward Montana. Then a little bit of an Arctic outbreak. I mean, this isn't going to be like a polar vortex, but definitely colder than normal for late February. It's almost the end of February, actually. I think that's the last day of February. And yeah, Sunday's March 1st. So as we get into Sunday here, we're getting to be, what is this, 5, 6 days out here. So kind of take this with a grain of salt. Looks like another developing system across the plains on Sunday with a mixed bag. Looks like a mixed bag over northern Missouri and Iowa, maybe some ice, snow, ice pellets. So some wintry weather possible, and that extends through Monday morning, and it goes right where they had a couple of feet of snow. So you guys get no relief out there in New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, even parts of probably DC too, or Maybe you'll get rain if you're lucky. But yeah, so that's kind of what that's showing there. Out west, yeah, we get another little system coming on. What's that coming on shore Saturday across California? Moves, but this is another warm system, like we talked about yesterday on our world weather tour. This has its origins down in the tropics, so it's just really warm out here. So mostly just rain out here, and this is on Saturday into Saturday night, Sunday morning, some lingering snow. Come on, seriously. Yeah, so and then that kind of that another little round of rain and high mountain snow, probably 9, 10,000 foot for the snow levels in general, at least in this area. Maybe a little lower up in Wyoming, but yeah, as we go into Monday. So, and that's getting to be 6 days out. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, have to watch this East Coast through the Ohio Valley and the central northern plains for another snowstorm. At least this part of the country. Let's just take a quick look at the European. Yeah, they're showing something too, so there might be a little snowstorm there. Gosh, dang it. What is going on? I keep pushing the wrong button there. Yeah, so they're kind of showing something maybe forming out. They're a little later on it on Sunday. They bring it in, but yeah. So this weekend, watch out towards Monday. Watch for another snowstorm. I mean, you're not going to see 2 feet of snow, but you could see a good amount of snow. At least 6 inches in some of these areas. Maybe even possibly some ice or ice pellets. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. That'll be our next um, storm to keep an eye on. Otherwise, fairly quiet. Oh, I forgot to mention, we got the snow kind of coming across the northern plains here on Friday and Saturday. I don't think that was on the GFS. This is the European model. Let's see what they showed. Yeah, there was something up there. So yeah, we'll get a little bit of snow up there. So I just kind of not quite as widespread as the European, but yeah, they're showing some light snow from the Dakotas to Montana, beginning Friday and Saturday. So something to watch. All right, hey, that's all I've got for you. So Wixman Ray out.